Hello, this is LJ Motivate for you. This week is a mental health week, and I hope you guys are really caring for your mental health. Your mental health is the same as your physical health, so it's also important for you to ensure that it's your greatest priority. Because if you're not looking after your mental health, it's going to really affect the way that you function, you're thinking, you're doing, you're acting. So a lot of anxiety will just like take over and just drain you and take so much out of you. So it's so important to look after your mental health, reduce things that are going to be, like coming across like a distraction, and just make sure, think about ways that you can be able to reduce the pressure in your job. Think about the way that you can be able to get enough sleep. Think about a way that you can be able to balance your work life balance. And if you haven't got a job, but just think about how you can be able to speak to your mind to relax, and don't let anxiety take over you, because when you're not functioning coming from a relaxed place, there's no way that you can even go for a job interview. There is no way that you can operate coming from a positive place. And if you've got children, it's so hard when you're not mentally stable for you to even be available emotionally for your children, for you to even listen when they've got their own challenges as well, when they also have some challenges that they also want to talk to you about. So it's always very important for us as a parent to look after ourselves. That way we can be emotionally be present, and we can be available to our children. And most times when we are really honest with ourselves, we'll find out that most things in our life we could have been able to manage it, but sometimes we kind of like, we're very open, because most times we don't know how to set boundaries, so we kind of like entertain and take in a lot of like external pressure, external people like feeding us with a lot of like our emotions. They kind of like make us unstable and mentally unstable. So sometimes we think that we want to help other people to get better, but we forgot that one person that we have to really concentrate first is to make sure that we are stable, we are better. So if we don't know how to balance ourselves up, we can be taking so much, and we happen to be in the losing end. So it's so important, because more especially for parents, if you're not caring for yourself, if you're not looking after yourself, if you're not going out for a walk, if you're not spending time with friends, if you're not open and be open to just talk to somebody about some distress that you, very important for you to find a strategy. And it can be as simple as having a conversation. I know sometimes some people might not want to have a conversation, but you have to ask yourself, both of you signed the contract from the beginning. So it's something, relationship is something that both people have to keep on investing. It's not one person investment. Because if one person keep on investing and the other person is not playing a role, it's not going to mature. It's not going to go nowhere. It's not going to grow. So it's just going to be like a flower that is not receiving air. So it's so important for you to ensure, because most times relationship is really a lot of big problem for many people, that a lot of people can't figure out how to be comfortable, or how to make their relationship, how to be happy in their relationship. So if your relationship is really stressing you out, it's very important for you to address it, because if not, you're going to be switching off like a candle, and you don't want that. Go for a walk. Walking, going outdoor for a walk, taking fresh air, doing things that is going to improve your well-being. It's so important. It's so important. Our brain can easily loosen up when we feed it with something that is really amazing. So when you sit inside the house and you only calling people, just like talking about how things are really bad, the brain will sink in there, and the brain will just function in that level. And the more that your happiness, the more that you look miserable. So it's so important for you to look after yourself. Everybody have got challenges, but it depends on how you communicate with your database. I call it database. Depend on how you communicate with your database and say, you know what, we all have challenges, but if we keep on dwelling on the challenges, we're never going to see the bright side of life. So it's so important for you to start, just loosen up a little bit and speak to someone. You have friends, even good, because you can set up a girls' night, a mother's night. It's so important. Everything depends on how we create happiness for ourselves. You can have you can call up maybe some few mothers that you also know, or even if they are not mothers, just have that night, and spend together and have a conversation and laugh and listen. when you feed your brain with something that is very, like, for example, like a laughter, it's so important, because how, when you go to bed, when you wake up in the morning, you're going to wake up in a different form. So it's very, very important for you to look after yourself and don't take negativity as positivity, because it's so important. Because as I say, give your soul what your soul deserves, because life, it's only one. You can't negotiate it.